Where are we right now?
Auburn.
Auburn. What's the place?
GP suspension.
That's right. What are you doing?
Making a crop holder.
Back to work.
Back to work.
Thanks for showing me. I'm going to get back over here in Neo, the 2015 Beamer. So yeah, it's correct. We're at GP Suspension, KFG Racing, and the forks are coming off Neo. It's so nice to work on a bench. I'm so used to I'm kind of like, I gotta get a bench, man. This is awesome. Anyway, there we go. It's up the top and drop it down. There we have it. We have to clean that off and put a sticker there eventually, right? That's all we have to do, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Just put a sticker.
Sticker and it's good to go.
Alright, cheers. Sir, where are we at right now?
KFG Racing.
That's right. Well, good luck with your street ride. Be safe, have fun, go fast.
You bet.
Alright, let's go into, here we are, the premise. Oh, it's push. Alright, and the process begins in the suspension room.
Yeah, you gotta get the reflector off, the goo.
That's right, I ripped them off at home. And now I left the goo for you.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So we're putting in some GP cartridges. And we're gonna show that process.
Step 1, stick your goo off.
Shop's looking pretty organized. Barry's definitely got some OCD as well. If we look through the window here, there is Neo, my motorcycle. And we got a CNC machine back there as well. So you got to write down where the suspension is set at.
Yep. And see where your preload was at.
I never did check that.
It was pretty much 0.
And is this one the rebound or compression?
This would be the left leg, which is the compression.
Yeah.
You know, blue towel to protect the cap, taking it off.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to scratch those for those street riders, right?
No marks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Street riders, they care about everything.
Certainly.
And then the fork leg drops open. Yeah, so unscrew the cap. What do you call this tool?
It's a fork spring compressor.
Yeah, pull it down and reach a wrench in their nut, right? I've done this before actually with my my friend Jim in Kelowna by hand, and we had to. It's really tough without the tools.
It is. It makes it hard.
It's really tough.
That's it. We make this tool.
You can buy it anywhere? I mean, they sell these things too somewhere.
You can buy them from us. Another one of our tools.
What's that one called?
It's a 19 by 17 wrench. It's got long, so it can go all the way to the other side.
Yeah, I wouldn't go through normally. And there's the cap.
Cap assembly.
What's the next step?
Unwind this.
No, I mean after that.
Oh. We're going to be taking the cartridge out.
And then pretty much a bolt at the bottom then?
Yep. So we take all these pieces out. We try to get all the oil off the spring so we can measure the OEM oil height. You can see where it's at. Take a little ruler here.
Okay.
You can kind of touch it right on top of the oil. And it's at 91
Millimeters?
millimeters. It's a lot of fluid.
What's your normal gap then?
It varies on OEM stuff, but it can be, I've seen them 0, and I've seen them all the way to as low as 200. Depends. Now we're going to take the cartridge out.
With an impact.
Impact, and make sure it's in reverse.
Yeah.
You use a little bit of Loctite in those things. And there's your BMW cartridge. Comes out. A
Yeah.
whole lot in there, right? Some OEM stuff.
Well, weight oil do you think's in those ones, like 5?
Yeah, I feel it looks like 5. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Since these things are brand new, we're just gonna kind of hose them out.
Number 2,
Yes.
the rebound.
Rebound leg.
All right, so we're just repeating steps 1 to 10 again.
More sticker goo. Great. We charge extra for this, by the way.
Is this by the hour or is this by the job?
It's by the scrape. It's about 30 scrapes. It's $1 a piece.
There you go.
But this little plastic scraper works pretty good. A little contact cleaner.
Wow, it's still better than the price the BMW dealer charges per hour.
It's true. Way better.
They'll charge way more for that scraping. So what Barry was just saying is it was on 5, my rebound.
Now it's on 1.
Yeah, and my compression was on what?
6.
Yeah, I did that on the street. That was my super suspension adjustment for street riding.
And a quarter turn of preload is all you have.
I did that for my hard braking.
Exactly.
On the street.
0-2.
The BMW actually has, like, on the dash, you can turn on it like a G-force brake meter, and it has a DTC usability meter as well.
Nice.
So when you're braking really hard, when you're doing a stopping, you actually look down at the dash, it flashes like ABS flashes, and then it has like a measurement, some kind of mathematical equation. And of course I maxed the shit out of it, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want more preload than that. You're the hard riding you do.
That was fucking nuts.
Alright, no marks again. So this spring here, the OEM spring, when you set it on the counter, it wants to naturally fall over. So it should, like our springs are, when you set them down, they're perfectly straight. And these like to lean.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
So there's the difference.
It's just too much of a step there. And that should have been ground flat more.
What did the spring sit on in the fork? It sits on what piece?
Well, it's sitting right here,
On that little shim.
like that.
Yeah.
And then this is at the top, like this. So you have the two pieces like that.
Okay. So the rebound is getting drained, and the height on this one was what, Barry?
It was at 80, and the
Alright.
other one was at 91.
I wonder if that was on purpose, just from the rebound to the compression, or is it a mistake or a leak or what?
It's probably an accident.
You think they'd both be the same just for consistency of their
It
stuff?
should be the same.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because that's the fork oil height. That doesn't have to do with compression or rebound. That has to do with overall, like, what is it? The air gap, right?
Correct. And that's just another, it's kind of like an air spring.
That's
The
right.
more oil you have, the quicker the air compresses and then holds you up.
Yeah, because air compresses and oil does not, essentially.
Yes. So you can, if you have too much oil in your forks, then it will be a really harsh ride, especially when you hit the brakes.
Yeah.
You'll never bottom out.
And that's why they should be exactly the same, because then
Yep.
you have a measurement tool of the consistency. All right, ready to rock and roll. All right.
So now we're blapping out the other cartridge. She came right out, which is good.
That one was a little easier.
This one's got a lot of fluid left in it. It's a rebound circuit. And they're different colored cartridge bodies, so you can definitely identify which is compression, which is rebound. And then on the rebound cartridge, you can see this. You only have holes at the bottom.
Okay.
Compression side, you have holes top and bottom. This has some sort of base valve in it, which is just like a piston at the bottom. It has a bleeds through it, and that's about it. So it gives you a little compression support on the rebound.
Okay.
On top and bottom.
Different for 2015, probably.
We actually haven't taken it apart yet, but we will eventually and see what's in there. Yeah, a little magnet kind of gets a little bolt out of there.
Yeah.
That's why I have that there. So when you flip the fork up, you don't lose your bolt.
If they were titanium, then what would you do?
Oh, scream.
Okay. So this is
Spring.
and we got a caliper attached to it. Zero that out.
Yeah. Gonna get that to settle.
And then you're gonna see how many millimeters it compresses.
Yep. And we got a little chart. Right here.
So what's it saying?
1843 millimeters. And you go to the old chart here. It's basically a 9.7.
0.97.
That's what we got.
Interesting. Yeah. It's good middle range, I guess, but it's kind of lightweight for a heavy person, but they're not going to brake hard anyways, the street rider, so.
This would probably work okay for you.
So here we have the GP 25mm cartridge kit.
Yep.
And
it's pretty much the guts of it right there.
all right, so that's
We're
going
gonna
to be
assemble it.
assembled and put into the forks.
Yep, all on the same day.
Amazing.
Here we go.
Do you want to tell me what individual things are here?
Well, these are the preload adjusters. These are our shims that so they can move around easy when you're doing preload. There's your adjuster to do your rebound and compression.
Okay, yeah.
Top, and then you got your rebound piston, compression piston, and you have your base valve, compression piston. And these are your rebound holders, seal heads. It's a spacer, another spacer, an O-ring. And these are your top out springs. These are our cartridge bodies. They're 75 grade aluminum that we have extruded.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very precise. And then our shafts, everything here you see we have made, and we make it in-house.
Cool. We have step one, I guess, is what?
Well, we put the needle and spring in there, which is this guy,
Okay.
and the spring, and then we put the actual holder on there to hold the piston. So,
All right. And Loctite it with red Loctite.
and now I'm going to take your piston and I'm going to do the valving on it.
How do you decide how many shims to use initially?
Well, we have a spec sheet that we go off of, and valving wise, we, for you in your riding that you're doing, I'm making you your own valving stack because we do everything here that's custom, and a lot of the stuff that we do is from being at the racetrack and tuning and working with fast riders.
Yeah. Developing it as you go.
So then you take that. Clamp shim. That's the mid valve side, and that's the rebound side. Put that together. A little washer for spacing. And assembled.
All right.
And then we clean it with some contact cleaner, and then we attach it. There you go.
All right. Onto the shaft. Okay.
So
Now you got this a spring on there.
that's your top out spring, or otherwise known as a negative spring. And that helps when the fork extends. Keeps it in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it always has pressure on it.
So it's a nice. Most forks have that.
Now onto the other side. So now we're onto the compression.
There's a little grease in the O-ring. Goes in there. There's a spring. getting the shafts built up.
That's right. We need some volume.
Doing some spacing, you know, on the shafts.
All right. A lot of spacing and a lot of shims.
And that does the length, you know. So then we're gonna. Next step is to put a bottom out bumper on here, and then our.
Oh, now my Canada phone's ringing. Excuse me here.
That.
Where's my other?
Important.
Alberta. Hey, it's Marcel.
Our bottom out bumper, a little spacer, and then we have our spring buffer.
Spring buffer.
That keeps the spring centered. as
Okay,
you're
yeah.
going through the travel. And this is our cap adapter. This is fresh off of our machine. Haven't had a chance to anodize it yet, but that's what Marcel gets today because it's such a new bike.
New.
It's all new, man. We gotta screw that on there. And you have two shafts ready to go. New stuff.
Okay. So those are somewhat assembled now. We gotta finish her up.
Piston bands on.
What is the point of that? It's like elastic band. I don't know.
It's a Teflon band. PTFE, if you want to be specific.
For what?
And
Just kind of.
That's what slides on the tube.
Oh yeah.
And that's what. And that's pretty much your cartridge body. But I gotta put the bottom pieces in next. Oops. There you go. Put that out of there. This is next, making the base valve. You need to grab a clamp shim. This is what all the shims bend off of. And your piston.
Okay.
So I gotta make a valving stack for that. There, and I gotta clean it. Clean everything. Even though they're brand new, we still clean everything.
So to clarify, this is the bottom.
Yep, this is your base valve.
Or base for bottom. Okay.
So I need to attach that to this. This is a different holder. Clean the tube out.
No foreign particles in the forks.
All clean.
You sure get a lot of contact cleaner on the floor, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. It evaporates.
Yeah. You go home at night and my pants are full of contact cleaner.
It is a distinct smell.
I wonder how we can make this video more entertaining.
Well, you know, I could do some breakdancing or something.
Yeah, I was thinking we could have some like ladies and some bikinis in the background, always like just dancing away while you're doing this. This would be great. That's right, that'll be the finishing edit and the end.
Be nice.
Alright. So there's the base attached to the tube, and phone is ringing again.
Yep. Base valve. Just,
Weird.
so we can attach it. Let's see, bottom. There we go. Now your cartridge is pretty much built.
Sure you're not putting together a gun? A rifle?
Oh, that's your cartridge.
Oh yeah.
Ready for battle.
That's right.
We're going to tighten the seal head.
Oh, there's a special tool.
All tightened up. Next thing we got to build is your fork caps. We got to assemble those.
Ah, yes. You sure that's the compression one?
Mm-hmm.
Just bugging you. All right, so we have a finished cap. I was on the phone and I missed the process, but we can get number 2. So this is assembled and this one is not. Look at that.
Yep, that's just the housing.
Just a nice piece of machine.
We got the one cap assembled. So it looks like when it's all done. This is kind of what it looks like when it's apart. And these are disc washers. They actually have some concave to it, so they apply pressure, and then everything.
They're all concave.
Yep. So and that allows it to spin free, but still be tight.
Yeah. Have a little give. Oh, it just presses together.
Okay. Then you have to use Loctite.
Right down there. That's why you need that one to get way down there.
Mm-hmm. And that's for our, our lock nut. And that kind of tightens everything up together.
A lot of threads.
Mm-hmm. Put this in our pin tool. Let me tighten that up. It's a special tool that we use.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're putting in the actual preload socket. So we get started.
So how's the preload do? This thing then just on threads just extends?
Yep.
Yeah, I see. It goes right through that. Removing all the preload.
Yep. So when you're doing preload,
1 turn is 1 millimeter. 1 turn is half a millimeter.
1 millimeter. So that's what it's pushing on,
That's in on the spring, yeah.
like that.
On like a collar to the spring.
Yep, and that pushes on the spring. That little.
Let's show the spring while we're at it. Show that flat top. So you just grind that down flat.
Yep, we have these manufactured, and they're flat. They stay right there.
Yeah.
Then the next is we're actually putting the rebound adjuster.
Some grease, and then what are those? Oh, little ball bearing to lock
Yep.
her in.
That's what makes it click.
Oh,
Your-
every time you do a turn, yeah. Click, click, click.
Then we have a little clip goes in there.
That's to hold it in. Lock nut washer. Here.
That's pretty much it. Then we need to put a sticker on it.
All made by hand. Hand assembled, anyways. But nobody really thinks about what goes into these things.
That's it. Alright, so we're going to put the rebound side into the rebound leg, which is the right leg. We'll just go down there like that. Here's your bolt. You use the Loctite on these things, so you kind of have to clean the threads a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I'm going to have to go wire wheel this. So we're going to have to take one. Back at it, got those cleaned up.
Okay, throw in the bolt.
Get the bolt in there.
Yeah, this is very entertaining.
Oh yeah, it's so exciting.
There's better lighting this direction. Okay, and then your tool to tighten.
Yeah, I use this, and then I usually do most of the stuff by hand. Try not to use power tools in anything.
Yeah, feel it all out.
That's all I feel. That's in there. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pour some fork fluid in it and bleed it out. And some fork fluid. Just kind of topping it off, and then use suction to pull fluid through the cartridge body. See that suction? What that does, it pulls fluid into the cartridge body and it pulls the air out. It's just a way of bleeding out the cartridge. And you got hand bleeded after that, and then we put your spacers in and set the oil height, and it's all done.
Let's see the suction again. There. That's the most interesting thing. That'll be the intro opening technique.
See that the cartridge is pretty much bled out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember doing this as well. Back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice and easy.
Work it in, work it.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Of course it is.
And then so once you set the oil light level, then you'll be accurate.
Yep. You gotta do this, and you gotta bleed the other side out. And you gotta bleed the tube out too. You gotta kind of stroke the tube up and down a little bit. Needs more fluid. So yeah, we gotta put the spacer in at the bottom. The spring sits on top of it like this.
Oh, I've never seen this before.
And the spring jacker. And then
and the cap.
So it goes like that.
Yeah. And the springs are flat.
Springs are flat. And that goes in there. And then
Space
we
it
set
out.
the oil height. It's, and this thing has, basically it's millimeters. I won't give away your secret number, but
Let me back away.
back away. And this goes down here and
You suck it out. Yeah. I made one of those by hand back in the day, and I used a little squirt bottle, and then I measure and make some lines and drop it to the line, right? That's how we did
I
it.
mean, you don't have to have this fancy tools. I mean, you can just make up something.
Yeah.
You know, like a medical syringe with a tube on it, and then you can use a ruler to check.
All right. So there's one fork. Now we need the cap on it.
Yep. And then this is, you got to do the final
The final bleed.
oil height.
Oh yeah. Move it up and down. Yeah.
Top it out, and then one last. And then take your spring, and you're like that. Put the tool on, spring jacker. And this is the rebound, so you want to grab the rebound. I usually just put a little grease on the socket, preload socket, a little bit on the threads there. And we grab our tool, 19 by 17 wrench. The reason we do this setup this way is that you can actually change your springs on the motorcycle. You don't have to take the forks off.
Yeah. Just take the cap off, and then I just need this type of or a tool to grab in there to do that. What springs were we putting in my bike?
105s is what we've been running with you.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the one you grabbed, right?
Yes, I promise. And you just, you don't need to tighten these very much, just a little snug.
Alright.
You put the O-ring on,
A little bit of grease.
grease in the threads.
And pull the tube up. Spin her on.
And you have a fork kit.
And use, what tool do you use to tighten that?
I just kind of use the preload adjuster. You don't need to make these tight. That's the one thing I just
Yeah.
emphasize, that they don't need to be tight. Because when you actually clamp your triple clamp here, that will not move.
Alright. Done.
That's it.
And what kind of preload should we start with?
I put 5 in it.
5 millimeters? 5 turns?
5 turns.
5 turns meaning 360s.
And I'll set your rebound.
Can't remember what my other bikes was set at for that. I'd have to look at my notes.
Get that set. And then
What'd you set the rebound at?
12 clicks out.
How many total clicks?
You got 30.
Okay.
Seems to be working just fine. There it is.
Alright. I'm gonna go faster now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I need more preload on the front. 14. 1. 1. Get a Yamaha. angle. Smoother there.